What if your dream photo shoot became a nightmare? At a luxury lingerie shoot, top influencer Alexis posed, but something strange crept into the photos, moving shadows. That night, she felt cold fingers touch her, and by morning, both Alexis and the photos had vanished, leaving only the lingerie left on the bed.
Ever felt eyes on you when you're alone? Tara noticed a new follower on her private Instagram account. The profile had no posts, just a profile picture of a girl who looked eerily like her. Curiosity got the better of her, so she messaged the account. No reply. The next day, the profile updated. This time with a picture of Tara's bedroom. Panic set in. How did they get that photo? That night, as she lay in bed, a notification pinged. The account had posted a video. It was Tara, sleeping. The caption read, "Watching you." Her blood ran cold. She wasn't just being followed online. She was being stalked in real life. Who was this person? And how far would they go? Be careful who you let into your virtual world. They might already be in your real one. Love kills. That's true. At least for Emma. Her friends set her up for a blind date. It was the perfect first date. Wine, candlelight, and the hottest man she had ever seen. But as their lips locked, his kiss grew rougher. His grip was tighter. Emma's heart raced. Not from passion, but fear. He stopped for a moment as he smiled. "You taste divine," he whispered, his fangs gleaming. She pushed him away, gasping, but it was too late. Her blood was already his. Ritika received a notification that her food delivery was on the way, even though she hadn't ordered anything. Curious, she waited. When the delivery arrived, there was no one at the door, just a note that read, "From an old friend." Inside the package was a dish she hadn't eaten since college, sent by someone who had died years ago. As she stared at the food, her doorbell rang again. Sometimes fashion can be deadly. At Fashion Week, Lila's designs dazzled the world, but her models began to disappear. One by one, 7 disappeared. One left behind a chilling clue: her skin had started to fray. She had started to look like an old sweater. It was because of the cursed fabric Lila used for their dresses. They all wore cursed fabric. The truth hit Lila too late. Her luxurious threads were devouring the souls of those who wore them. Subscribe to get new stories every day. Fake accounts are always a bad idea. Neha found that out in the worst way. Neha made a fake profile to prank her friends, pretending to be a girl named Mira. She sent them creepy messages, things that would freak them out. But soon, Neha started receiving messages from Mira too, with details only Neha knew. Confused, she tried to delete the account, but it wouldn't disappear. She kept getting messages. One night, her doorbell rang. And the caller ID read, "Mira." Kids imagine a lot of things, but what if it's not their imagination? A young girl discovered an old dollhouse in her attic. It was an exact replica of her home. She played with it every night, marveling at the tiny details. But soon, something strange began to happen. The dolls seemed to move on their own. One evening, she noticed the dolls weren't where she left them. They were all standing at the attic window, staring at her real house. The next night, she checked again. This time, the dolls had moved closer to her room. Her heart pounded as she realized what was happening. On the third night, she gathered all her courage and approached the dollhouse once more. What she found sent chills down her spine. The dolls were no longer near the window, they had moved again. This time they were at the edge of her bed. I don't know why all fortune tellers are scary. Sanjay saw one at the village fair offering to show people their future. Skeptical but curious, he sat down. The old woman stared into his palm and gasped. "You shouldn't have come here." Confused, Sanjay asked why. She replied, "Because you don't have a future anymore." Suddenly he heard a loud noise. When he turned back, he saw people running and screaming. Then Sanjay saw a huge roller coaster car coming towards him. If you think all clock stories are boring, think again. This one will make you rethink time itself. Sean found an antique clock at an estate sale, entranced by its Gothic design. He hung it in his bedroom, where its eerie presence loomed. The clock had a beautiful mirror attached, reflecting his every move. Every hour it would chime, echoing through the silent house. But one night, at midnight, it chimed 3 times. On the 3rd chime, cold hands wrapped around Sean's throat. Struggling for breath, he looked at the clock. His reflection stared back at him, older, gaunt, and losing life. I know you have heard plenty call center stories, but this is a unique one. Richard worked the night shift at a call center. His job was mostly boring, but one night, he got a call from a number marked unavailable. The voice on the other end was faint, almost a whisper. "Help me, please," it begged. Thinking it was a prank, Richard ignored it. The next night, the same voice called, this time crying. By the 3rd night, he realized the voice sounded like his own. Subscribe for the best stories every day.